This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Palm Pre Plus for AT&T. This is the first US GSM Palm Pre, and it's a lot like the Sprint version in terms of specifications, which is a good thing. It's the Plus version. That means it has twice as much RAM and twice as much storage as the Sprint version did, which was the first Pre to ship. We'll take a look around it. It's your basic standard normal Pre. You have your volume controls here. Here you can see it comes with the touchstone back standard, which is a nicer back that doesn't show fingerprints and is kind of a soft touch grippy thing. So we're thrilled with that. It has the electrical contacts on the underside. It works with the touchstone, and AT&T is doing a promotion. If you get one within, who knows, a couple of weeks of launch anyway, you get a free touchstone charger. The side here, the USB port is under this little door. You got your power button, your ringer silencer, typical for Palm, 3.5mm stereo jack here, and this is the back door release, and underneath the back door we'll take a look and show you. Of course, this is going to be quite a bit different from the CDMA versions because they don't use SIM cards. Here's your SIM card slot. It's a removable battery here. And back of the touchstone back, here's the contacts over here for the inductive charging of the touchstone. Now that removable battery brings up an interesting point. You say, well, AT&T, they have the iPhone. What can compete with the iPhone? In fact, AT&T has released very few interesting smartphones on their network since they've had the iPhone. But point number one is this does have a user replaceable battery. Point number two is this guy multitasks. As you can see here, I have a web browser window open. I have my email boxes there. Whatever apps I want to have, within reason, you can run them. I mean, if you get more than 15, you're getting a little dicey here. But this does have an ARM Cortex A8 family CPU, which is very fast, running at about 600 megahertz, and it has 512 megs of RAM, so it can run plenty of apps. You have the usual Palm launcher down here, and then all your applications are here. You can put photo speed dials in here if you want, which I've done. This is the built-in applications, which include the app catalog, Google Maps, Amazon MP3, the YouTube player, and Documents to Go, Office Viewer, and PDF Viewer, and of course your calculator. Here you have the built-in applications, which include an excellent WebKit-based web browser, the messaging, threaded messaging application, a very good music player, AT&T Navigator by Telenav. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Yellow Pages Mobile, one of the few pieces of AT&T software on here. This is one of the few phones that they haven't mucked up with a whole lot of extra crapware. Awesome. You've got your memos, your tasks, and then all the applications that I've downloaded. There's several thousand applications now, and many of them are the same that you would find on the iPhone and Android, and they're quite good. As you can see, it's fast and responsive enough. And here's your settings stuff for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This works with AT&T Wi-Fi hotspots. So we'll take a look at some applications. If you remember the Sprint Pre first, we'll say there used to be a hardware button here. Now there's just a touch button. If you want to go home, or if you want to minimize any application, you just touch the touch-sensitive area here. We'll also touch on the keyboard before we close this up to look at apps. The keyboard is small, but I find it very usable and very fast. If you're used to the Trio keyboard and other compact keyboards, you'll probably feel at home. The Verizon keyboard was an improvement over the Sprint, and this is the best one yet. It isn't gummy like the Sprint version was, so your fingers don't kind of get stuck to the keys and your fingernails don't dig in. So it's a very good typing experience. Alright, now I'll take a look at some applications. So first we'll take a look at Google Maps. This is a capacitive touch screen. It's a different screen than used by other phones, and it's made by Sony. It's a bit more expensive than most cell phone displays. As you can see, you can pinch zoom here, scroll around quickly to your heart's content, and we're waiting for the map to download over AT&T's 3G data connection. Menu options here are search map, get directions, satellite view, traffic, and of course you can clear the map. When you're done with it, just do that to minimize it, and you can keep it running or you can throw it away. Now we'll take a look at AT&T Navigator. This one takes a little bit longer to start because it has to get a GPS fix and then check your account online, because this is a $10 a month service that provides spoken turn-by-turn navigation. So you can see your usual interface for AT&T Navigator. You've got Drive To, you can search, Maps and Traffic, Share and more, which includes accessing favorite places that you've saved. So let's say we want to drive to, and we'll choose a business. This phone has a very tight slider, by the way. There's no wiggle waggle like there was on the Sprint version. It's even tighter than the Verizon version. It's almost too tight, but I'm sure it'll break in eventually. And we'll do the usual stuff for Starbucks. And we'll just pick one. So you can drive to, get a map, which we'll do, and more. So there we have the map with all the Starbucks in the area and the one that we just selected highlighted in blue. So that's AT&T Navigator. Now we're going to take a look at the web browser. You can see this has an accelerometer. It also has a proximity and an ambient light sensor, so you can just turn this on the side so you can go wherever you want to go. And if you want to access the menus, so go to bookmarks, you have visual bookmarks here. If you want to go to bookmarks, you have a list of bookmarks here. And when you first start the web browser, you see an index card view of your bookmarks, and we'll pick our own site. And this is over AT&T's 3G network. The phone does also have Wi-Fi. As with all smartphones these days, you're required to get the smartphone plan. The cheapest one is $30. So sorry, even if you just want to use Wi-Fi, AT&T is going to make you get a data plan with a smartphone these days. But all carriers are doing the same thing. It's not just AT&T. So here we have our website. You can see it's very responsive. It's the most iPhone-like experience, this phone, of all the other non-iPhones. Flashy UI and a very good web browser. So you can zoom in like so. It's quite quick. And supposedly Flash support is coming maybe next month in June. So that's the web browser. And again, I can leave that running in the background, no problem. You can have messaging, IM, all sorts of things going on. Next, we're going to take a look at the YouTube player. This does not have AT&T's CV or cellular video service, but you do have YouTube, and you have access to any other website that has streaming video that this phone supports. And we will take a look at an entertaining little video from YouTube. The quality is generally excellent on this. So here we have YouTube playing. As you can hear, the speaker is quite loud. It has the volume set fairly high. This happens to be the iPhone 4G that's been leaked out of Vietnam. By default, it plays in high quality mode, so you don't have to switch up to high quality mode like you do on Android phones. And it looks quite sharp. Very good. Like all new Palm WebOS devices, this has what Palm calls synergy. That means you can easily sync to multiple sources, including multiple Exchange accounts, your Gmail for calendar, for contacts, and for email. And it does a great job of not creating duplicates. It can also sync to Facebook and some other services. It does just an absolutely fantastic job of keeping your PIM data synced up with a variety of cloud sources. The Pre has average reception for an AT&T phone. It's not stellar and it's not abysmal either. It's about middle of the road. It manages to hold on to a 3G signal for us, even if it's kind of weak, without dropping it. And so far we haven't had any drop calls. Outgoing quality is good for calls. It's slightly digitized, but still what we would call good. Incoming call quality is excellent. Full, loud, and clear. As you can see, this is the phone's dialer right here, and you have shortcuts to your call history and missed calls here too, and your voicemail button. And again, if you want to do speed dial, you can do that using the keyboard, pressing and holding the number that you've assigned, or you can actually put photo contacts right here. Palm has done a good job of providing 3D gaming APIs for the Pre-Plus. As you can see here, this is Assassin's Creed, the free demo version, and this is the cutscene right now. The games are pretty much comparable to the iPhone 3GS, in fact, for quality and how advanced they are. Of course, there's lots of other puzzle games and non-3D games if this isn't your idea of great fun either. So that's Assassin's Creed that we just demonstrated here. And most Tier 1 3D games sell for about $4.99 to $6.99. When the Palm app catalog first opened up, some of the prices were kind of high, but now they've come down. They're pretty similar to iPhone games. So that's the Palm Pre-Plus on AT&T. It's available starting May 16th. It sells for $149 with a 2-year contract, and for a limited time only, AT&T says it comes with a neat touchstone charger. If you buy it without a contract, it's $3.99, which is incredibly affordable compared to buying it from Sprint or Verizon without a contract. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website to read the full review.